And here it is, the Bank of America at Vermont and L Street, where Occupy DC has set up a secondary camp because the park police do not allow them to sleep in McPherson Square.
This is a sleep for protest. This is a sleep for protest. We use sleep to protest. Shut down the banks.
I figure what's going to happen is eventually, if this takes off, the banks are going to get sick of having people sleep outside their doors. They're going to tell the park police, hey, let them sleep in the park. It's causing too much trouble. They got to sleep out here.
But seeing as how my First Amendment rights are still protected by sleeping right there, I think I'll still do it just in spite of, my arrest this morning.
I love the First Amendment.
We've got people now set up on both sides of the corner of the Bank of America here at Vermont Avenue and L Street. It's Occupy DC's latest camp.
Twitter it. Twitter it.
How come the
I'm
biggest
live.
guy went after Rudy?
Now, our protest is now being arrested here at the Bank of America in Washington, D.C. at Vermont L.
So I got up, and the officer that was standing closest approached me, and I said, what's the problem? We had already cleared this earlier in the day. Another sergeant and another lieutenant had been by, and they both gave us, clearance and said that we were, not breaking any laws, and actually warned us about the weather, and told us where we could go. They seemed really supportive and, cooperative.
But there's a shift change at midnight.
Exactly. It was about, I want to say, 8:30 when they came and started to wake people up. Originally, they initially had a...
What's the bank's opening hours?
Well, this bank...
9 o'clock.
Yeah, 9.
Okay, bank opens at 9, so they showed up at 8:30 trying to get rid of you.
Yeah. There was a crew of the window squeegee ladies.
Yeah.
The lower section of windows that started down at the corner at that little deli, I believe.
Yeah.
It was. And they came up and they were doing the windows, and that's what their initial complaint was. Okay, well, this crew wants to just clean these windows. If you wouldn't mind just pulling back about 4 or 5 feet.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's no problem. We'll move up a little bit. There's 30 feet of sidewalk. That's no problem. We're not blocking anything. He said, all right, thanks, guys. So we started pulling things up real quick. As soon as everyone had laid back down, there were maybe 16 people over here in the Brickway. I heard another officer comment on the side that if we did not remove our belongings, including the protest signs and the symbol of the protest being the tent, and take it either back to the park or have it on our person, they were going to arrest us. So that's when I told everyone, look, guys, I'm sorry. I got to go down with the ship. I've plotted this out. I've planned this out. I've thought it over for weeks ever since we started our test runs over in front of Camden Park. If I'm going to be the martyr in the cause, this is when it has to happen, is right in front of the building, as we've already been here several days without any police resistance, and now suddenly, after the first day of the bank's business, we're receiving opposition from police, and they're not being as cooperative, and they're giving 2 orders. Move away from the building. Oh, but now you're in the way. Now we're going to arrest you.
So 2 conflicting orders. So in other words, they arrested you for following a police instruction, which is illegal as hell.
Exactly. And then after following that instruction, I said, oh, well, I am in the way over here. Want to know what? Hey, guys, just pack up my bag. I'm just going to sit flat on the brick and just hold my sign. That way they can keep doing what they're doing. The window crew, in that time of us discussing and trying to reason with the officers, had come and done their job. They cleaned the windows and went away. So they were done. So I said, well...
we need to make this a little faster.
All right, so I sat back down. We were approached, and that's when they began warning us. First warning, second warning. Come 10 o'clock, a little bit after, they said, okay, this is the 3rd warning. We're now placing you under arrest. They put us in the van, brought us to the holding cells, and I didn't know what they didn't have to read Miranda here. But
Were any charges? What's the current legal status of the case?
The legal status is that Jeff, our attorney, says it's going to get tossed because blocking a passage is not even a real charge.
Okay, so you were released on citation then, rather than appearing in for arraignment.
I have to appear in court on April 26th.
But he says it'll be no papered.
He says that it's going to be no papered, as well as I am now suing the city.
Nice. So you're suing the D.C. government for this wrongful arrest.
Yes, for a violation of my civil rights and my First Amendment rights.
You understand that the historical precedent is that you get about $18,000 for such a lawsuit in this town.
Well, if that's the case, that means that Occupy will be very happy because
we'll all eat,
we'll have nice new houses. Like this fine abode here. The symbolistic abode.
There are more vacant homes than homeless people. That is the truth.